Hello. If you're seeing this and it's not Wednesday between 3 and 6 p.m., this live stream has ended, and you should wait for the next one happening on weekdays between 3 and 6 p.m. ish. Sometimes I'm a little late. Sometimes I'm a little early. Mostly I'm a little late. Oh, right. Don't want to get hit with a copyright violation right out the gate. I always forget that.
The waiting room's gonna think I'm weird. I just picked up some pickle pizza. Sorry, spicy pickle pizza. Say something my spicy pickle pizza. That's good. This is a cannoli made out of pickles.
Apparently some chick went to like a Pittsburgh pickle festival and ate like her weight in pickles and drank pickle juice and pickle things all day long. And then she bought a bunch of pickle themed t-shirts and then ended up in the emergency room with some sort of sodium overload because amateurs. Let's see. Oh, also, you should drop a comment so I know you're here to say hi. Like Jacob. Hey, Jacob, what's up? Nikki Black's official chat room. I guess technically, yeah, you're not wrong, brah. You are not wrong. Oh man, there were some things I was going to talk about too. What were they? I got totally distracted. Thanks, internet. By this chick who, like I said, was eating 1,000 pickle themed things at some pickle festival and ended up in the emergency room because she was like on sodium overload or something. And honestly, all I can do is like look at all these pickle things that she's eating, and it looks so good. Hey, Shireen, what's happening? How you doing? What's new, everybody? I'm getting ready to really go to Comic-Con this weekend. Anybody who was here last week knows that I legit thought I was going to Comic-Con last weekend. Here's how badly. Russell, why are you in Cleveland? Do you live in Cleveland now? Have you left Las Vegas? Or is this a different Russell Wilson? Because I'll tell you, I honestly can't tell from the photos. It's so very tiny here. I can only see the names. Oh, work trip. Oh, hey, you got a new job. Congrats, bruh. Good to hear that. Where's the new gig from? At for something. Oh, I remember one of the things I was excited about. I just got an email that my 49er credential was approved for the season. So now I get to go to all the 49er home games. Which means I kind of need to a sports card company. Well, speaking of sports, guess who's going to all the home 49er games? Maybe not all of them because I clearly have issues managing my calendar. I literally yesterday, after having this whole kerfuffle with the Comic-Con dates. Oh, here's how bad I was with the Comic-Con dates. I had tickets last Saturday for this thing called Meat Carnival, which was in Napa. And it's what it sounds like. It's like a place where you go and you pay a bunch of money, but they grill and cook all these different specialty meats, and you literally just start eating meat right off the grill with your hands. And they do like a kind of a cooking and grilling demonstration for you of how they make it, and it's all kinds of different meats done different ways, and it's all you can drink wine at the same time. So I was like, oh, Meat Carnival sounds rad. So my friend Heather and I booked Meat Carnival like ridiculously in advance, like 2-3 months in advance. We bought these Meat Carnival tickets because they're like $200. It was like outrageous. Normally I would never ever put the money up for something like that, but my friend Heather, who I've known since high school, never asks me to do expensive stuff. And I was like, okay, we're doing this. And then at the last minute, I was like, oh my God, Heather, I can't go to Meat Carnival because I'm going to Comic-Con this weekend. I got the dates mixed up and I have to cancel Meat Carnival. So I canceled Meat Carnival. Well, I postponed it because they don't let you cancel. They're like, we'll give you half your money back or we'll reschedule you. And I was like, let's reschedule. So I rescheduled Meat Carnival for September, only to realize yesterday when they sent me the confirmation email for September that I had tickets for Meat Carnival the weekend I wasn't at Comic-Con, but thought I was at Comic-Con. And if I had realized that I was canceling Meat Carnival for no reason, we still could have gone to Meat Carnival in Napa last weekend, but I didn't. I didn't realize it until yesterday. That is the level of brain fog I am dealing with right now. I have gaslighted myself way into like next week, frankly. So now Meat Carnival is not going to be in Napa for the rest of the year. So now we have to meet at Meat Carnival on Mare Island in September. I guess that's easier, really. You know, there's not going to be as much traffic in Vallejo going to Mare Island on a Saturday in September, hopefully, but still. The fuck was I thinking? Dude. So then on Monday, I had to email Chasta last minute frantic. Oh shit, I didn't realize I fucked up. And when I booked my flight back from Monsters on the Mountain, the festival that I host with the Monsters of Rock Cruise people and the Smoky Mountains in August, I couldn't, apparently there's just no way to get a flight back from Memphis Monday morning in time to work Monday afternoon. When I initially booked my flight, I thought I was going to be flying home in time to come straight to work. That's usually what I do. It's what I do after the cruise. No matter how much it hurts, I come in all hungover and save that vacation day, right? Because I don't have a lot of vacation days. And I had to text her Monday and be like, dude, I just had to put in another vacation day because I realized our part-time guy, Anthony, who fills in for me, has that week requested off. And I was like, can baby Huey fill in for me? And she was like, actually, I'm out of town and baby Huey's filling in for me. And I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? What are we going to do? But fortunately, Dennis Willis, who does Soundwaves FM Saturday nights at 10 o'clock, is going to be able to fill in for me that afternoon. So, dude, bottom line is if I think I'm going to make it to all these 49er games, I need to get my calendar together because today's hot topic, I don't know what today's hot topic is going to be. Apparently it's going to be my calendar and what a shit show it is for the moment. At least I didn't book flights to San Diego. Oh yeah, I booked my flight to San Diego for the right weekend. So yeah, in fact, that's what clued me in. I was making last minute preparations and I was like going into the Southwest app to see why I hadn't gotten an email about what time I should check in for my flight the day before I thought I was flying. And there it was, the right dates, which weren't last week. So last Thursday, I realized I was not going to Comic-Con that weekend. And then, yeah, way to go. Hey, Eddie, what's happening? Hey, Robert. Yeah, Meat Carnival. Google it. It's pretty awesome. It's stupid expensive, but it looks awesome. So we'll find out. Hopefully their wine makes it worth it. If I get there and that wine gives me a headache, I'm going to be really mad. You want to meet Mark Hamill, Corvette Summer Green Day music video? I almost actually I didn't meet Mark Hamill, but I did walk by him and wave and say hi. And he waved and said hi back because one year I was at Comic-Con and somebody went as Trump Vader with an orange Vader helmet on, a Darth Vader costume. And I was like, Accurate, dude. That's awesome. What's up? And you know, whoever it was didn't say anything and like waved and was like, you know, I forget if it was like a thumbs up or whatever it was. It might have been a chokehold. Actually, I think it was a chokehold because oh my god, Mark Hamill is so awesome. And then it came out on like Sunday that was Mark Hamill at Comic-Con in disguise because you know that's the big thing, right? The celebrities pre-pandemic celebrities wanted to go to Comic-Con, but they didn't want to get like harassed by crazy fans, which is a thing. So they would go in costume where their whole faces and bodies were covered in ways that people couldn't recognize them. And then they would end up inevitably getting recognized at some point and it would leak and be all over the place. Hey, Justine. You're the only one in the YouTube chat? Aw. I mean, I don't know if well, it looks like the Facebook chat is the one that goes off the most, I'll be honest. I don't know how to get more people. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I just do this because it's a great way to talk to you guys and I'm on all three platforms, so I figure like that way whichever one is best for you, but then you kind of can't see other people's comments and I don't know how to make that different. But I see you, Justine. I see you just fine. Hey, Justin. Hey, Lizzie. Aaron. Kenneth. What have I heard about Sammy's Best of tour? You know, I haven't heard from anybody who went, but there are some videos out there of the show, and I haven't watched them yet. Hey, Christopher. Happy Wednesday. I guess it is. It's Wednesday. I mean, it's definitely Wednesday. I don't know if it's happy or not yet. Ask me after I've had another coffee. Hey, Justin. Oh, requesting songs already. What a shock. Yeah, sure. Soundgarden. Not a problem. I'll put it on my list. It's like the Renaissance Fair. No, I guess, yeah. I guess Comic-Con is like Ren Fair, but in the future. Ren Fair is like retro Comic-Con. Comic-Con is like Futurama Ren Fair. Everybody's in costume and having a good time. And famous people will go and wear masks so nobody can recognize them. Oh, cool. That was not like a call for song requests. But feel free to throw the penny in the fountain, as it were. Jacob, I'm confused as to why you're super excited about car movies today when we talked about car movies yesterday and you weren't here. So what's up with that? It's almost like you heard yesterday's conversation and are trying to have it today. That's so weird. Hey, Kenneth. So UFO Love to Love. Not likely. Sorry. It's not in the playlist at all. It's like a deep track. Like we don't even have UFO in the playlist, but if we did, it would be Dr. Doctor or something that was like a radio song because that's how radio works. Radio's not for deep tracks. Radio's not for album tracks. Radio is for singles. And then if you want album tracks, you buy the record. I mean, that was the whole agreement for radio, right? That's why radio gets to play the music for a reduced rate because it's basically an advertisement for the music. With us agreeing not to play every single song, right? At one point, the album side got popular, but that was back in the 70s and 80s when we didn't have the rating system that we do now. So now people carry around a device that listens for them and records what they're actually listening to. In the 70s and 80s and 90s, actually, people would write down in a diary what they listened to that day, which, you know, people lied about. So, you know, everybody would write in their diary, I listened to 107.7 The Bone all day today, every day. I only listen to Lamont and Snelly. I love Lamont, you know, and they would just say that they listened to us even when they didn't. And so it was always like a popularity contest. Whoever you could get to fill out that diary for you was the way you won in the ratings game. Well, now we find out that, now people have to actually carry a device around and the device records what they're actually listening to. So what we found out was a lot of people, when we first flipped over, I was on the air at 1077 The Bone on afternoons when that happened in like 2006, I want to say. What we actually found out with these meters listening and reporting for people and not letting people vote with their diaries is that an awful lot of people that claimed they only listened to NPR and KFOG lied. Those people were listening to 1077 The Bone and Wild 94.9 and KMUL and not listening to the news. They were not listening to the world music stations. They were not listening to NPR. I mean, they were, but not in the great numbers that claimed they were, and not in the great lengths that they claimed they were. They were flipping around and they were listening to pop music. And, you know, I can see where people who fancy themselves as people who only listen to NPR would not admit to listening to pop music, but they do. I remember one time some guy telling me he listened to KFOG only and that he was a big KFOG fan. But then we started talking about music and he said he was a Rush fan. And I was like, well, then why wouldn't you try listening to 1077 The Bone? We're the only station that plays Rush. And he's like, no, I hear Rush on KFOG. And I'm like, the fuck you do. If you're hearing Rush, you're listening to us. KFOG does not play Rush, dude. And he was like, really? Like, people are just not aware of where their station is because they're just mindlessly changing it. So the song request thing is a mixed bag, right? If I play some song, Love to Love by UFO, that 3 people out of 100,000 are familiar with in the Bay Area that are listening right now, and people start tuning away because what they want to hear is the song that they know the words to and can sing along to, our ratings go down if that person has a meter. If our ratings go down, we can't charge as much for our advertising. And if we can't charge as much for our advertising, we lose revenue. And if we lose revenue, people start getting fired. Stations start flipping Spanish. Shit like that happens. So that's the long story behind the song requests and why I sound so flip when you request them. Oh, glad you love the Green Day. I'm a big fan of Green Day too. I love Mike Dirnt posted something the other day, and it was a headline for the Corvette Summer video, and it was Jedi of Suburbia because Mark Hamill's in their video. It's so cute. Hey, Mike, what's happening? Let's see. You're gonna Justine, did you try and pop over and then come back because the reception is better on YouTube? That's the thing, right? From what I understand, it sounds better on YouTube and on Twitch, but people are watching on Facebook just because that's where they're getting the notifications for. That's just where people happen to be when they find out that I'm doing a live stream, and that's where they come over from. So I guess if anybody's coming over from Facebook and is having like latency issues, and you do have Twitch and or YouTube, and you would rather hang out for a while and have better reception, give it a try. I'm live on Twitch and on YouTube right now as well. Oh, Justine, you were talking about the meat thing. Meat carnival. I know, it's a thing. It's so funny. Christopher, when you grew up in Alameda, they had a store that sold comic books and stuff. Yeah. We had one in Fairfield too. It was called Comics and Comics, and comics was spelled differently. Hey, John, how you doing, man? Hi, Donald. What's up? Kenneth, you notice I'm doing a lot of aerobic exercise now? No, I'm not. Where did you notice that? And why wasn't I involved? I am definitely not doing aerobic exercise. I am on a treadmill. Basically what it is I have a treadmill desk that I put this laptop on, and the treadmill is in front of my TV. So in the morning, I'm trying to like kill many birds with one stone. So I've got like a water and a coffee and the laptop and the news on in front of me. And I'm having breakfast while I'm like reading emails and posting to social media and watching the news. So yeah, that's not really aerobic per se. It's just like a desk that I'm able to walk in front of. But I guess it's going okay. I mean, it does come in handy, right? Because that way, instead of just sitting here like I am right now, I would be moving. So I would be getting a little bit of exercise while I was also working. You hate the weather in the Philippines. It's cold. Dude, we are dying out here right now. I had to take a shower before I got dressed today. I mean, not because I was working out. Like I was done working out and had taken a sweat shower. This was after that, and I had lunch, and then I was getting dressed to come to work, and I was like, I was like so hot and sweaty just from it being so hot inside my house, even with the air conditioner on it was like 80 something. Well, like when I woke up, it was 80 degrees in my house. And then I had to turn the air conditioner on because I have an air conditioner in my room for overnights. So I wake up and I see what the rest of the house is with the windows open and stuff. With the windows open overnight, it was 80 degrees in my house this morning at 9 a.m. when I went out to check on everything. Close down the windows and turn on the AC and all that. So when I got dressed to leave at 1 o'clock, it was even hotter. And I had to like hop in the shower and just like quick cold splash before I could put clothes on. Cause hot, sticky, gross, heated. You miss Virgin Atlantic, the mega store by Union Square. You know what? That's so funny you say that, Kevin, because there's a an Instagram that I follow. I think it's called Retro Bay Area. And they just posted some video from Market Street in like the 90s. And there was some footage of the Virgin Megastore there. And I was like, oh my God, I miss the Virgin Megastore. It was awesome. But I also miss Virgin America Airlines because they were awesome too. And when they got bought out by Alaska Airlines, Alaska was crap. Especially by comparison. I ended up like hating Alaska so much that I basically switched to Southwest full time. And now I really like Southwest. I know people complain about it all the time, but I'm like, you know, honestly, I don't have a problem with Southwest. It's been great. Jacob, did you just switch platforms? You weren't able to tune in yesterday. You missed the hot topic. The hot topic was car movies. You totally missed it. It really was, which is why that's hilarious. Yeah. Hey, Kenneth, you really liked K-Fog, huh? K-Fog wasn't my jam, but I did like Dave Morey, and I didn't really know M. Dung. I met him a couple of times. Nice guy, super nice. Hey, PJ, what's up? How you doing? Eddie, you're going to Minnesota to see Green Day? Why Minnesota? Minnesota. I'm confused. Oh, somebody keeps calling and hanging up before I can answer. It's super annoying. John, you heard Green Day and Santana on KMEL in the 1890s a few times. Remember Camel? Remember when KMEL was the Camel and they had that giant inflatable camel with sunglasses and headphones? Oh my God, that was Retro Bay Area. Hi, it's the Bone.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm new to your station, and when do you guys announce tickets to win?
We announce them to win like kind of whenever we feel like it, I suppose. But we do give you a heads up so that
like, is it within an hour or like?
Yeah, we give you an hour period. So this week, our major giveaway is happening in the 8 a.m., 11 a.m., and 3 p.m. hours.
All right, cool. Thanks.
So just listen for the cue to call.
Right on.
Good luck. Professional, trying to win that shit. Nothing against it. I mean, but God, I really prefer to have like first time winners or at least people who are actually fans of the station and listen to us to win stuff rather than people who are like strategizing to win it and then don't actually listen to the station. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a dick move. It's like showing up to a wedding when you don't know you don't know the bride and groom. You're just there for dinner. That's how I look at it anyway. Jacob, K-Fog's Kaboom, the fireworks thing that you're talking about, was very expensive. And it was a thing that we used to be able to sell a lot of advertising for. And we had K-Fog Kaboom, and then we had K-San Zoo Lights. So both of them were kind of like commercial ventures that we sold commercial time to pay for. And advertising just dropped so much. Like, it dropped first in the after 9/11, and then it dropped again after the .com bust, and then it dropped again during the housing crisis, and then it dropped again after like social media started taking over. So at this point, our advertising budgets are just not as big as they used to be, and we just don't have the money to pay for stuff like that. We don't have the budget. Plus, also, we got bought by corporations, and those corporations are taking budgets away to pay out shareholders. So when we were a company that did the K-Fog Kaboom and the K-San Zoo Lights, we were owned by a company called Susquehanna. And Susquehanna owns, like, I don't know, 43 radio stations and, like, I want to say 6 or 8 TV stations maybe. And then Cumulus bought the whole company. And then Cumulus at the time owned like 300 stations. So then they owned like 350 stations. And since then, Cumulus has bought or merged with CBS. What was that? Infinity Broadcasting. I think it was Infinity. At any rate, I don't know how many stations Cumulus owns now, but it's a lot. And every time they would purchase a station, they would fire a bunch of people and then centralize the command of running those stations and pay out their shareholders and shore up their stock value with those budget cuts. So now the combination of lower advertising available and a bottomless pit of a corporation that needs us to constantly funnel money to them to make sure their stock price stays stable means that we don't have a budget to do cool shit like that. Somebody else would have to pay for it and host it and then have us sign on to promote it. But that's how that works. Let's see. Too bad, because that's kind of what's wrong with radio nowadays. You just play it occasionally. The music industry has changed so much. I don't think that's what's wrong with radio. I think everything I just said is what's wrong with radio. I don't think what's wrong with radio is that we won't play random requests from people so that one person can hear one song. Because radio is broadcasting. We are literally a mass media, which means we're playing things that the most amount of people want to hear. And I think you would find it hard pressed to go out and ask 100 strangers if they would rather hear Guns N' Roses' Paradise City or UFO, whatever that song was, Love is Love. Do you see what I mean? So if you're looking for something on a more individual basis, we do break programming Saturday nights. And we have Sammy's Top Rock Countdown. We have Bone Breakers, the new music program. We have Soundwaves FM, the local music program. And we have the Metal Zone. And all of those programs are not the typical playlist. Hey, Nick. What is up with that, Nick? Huh? This doesn't count as us hanging out, by the way. You know, that popped up in my Facebook memories the other day. You were like posting on my page something like, reminder, we should do this more. And I was like, I almost sent it to you, but then I got busy arguing with people about politics because it's fucking weird right now. Thanks, Justine. You're right. That is a full day of work. Yeah, it was 80 degrees in Tracy. It was 80 degrees in my house at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was 80 degrees. Jesus. Hey, so Eddie, you're going to Minnesota as like a fun thing. All right. Enjoy Minnesota, sir. Maybe go by the what is it called? Not the 8th Street Playhouse, but the Prince area. There's a Prince, I think there's a Prince museum and stuff. Jacob, you're going to stay on Twitch. You're brainstorming. You're not lucky. I'm doing this every weekday now. But if you want to feel lucky, bro. I'm down for it. Nick, did you bail on me already, or are you still here? I have no way of knowing. Just so everybody knows, I have no way of knowing who is on and who is not on unless you comment. You feel like you're going to discover something new. Well, it's entirely possible. Thanks, Jacob. Appreciate that. Hey, Justin. Oh, the Wi-Fi today seems fine. I tried to tell you guys yesterday that was super weird for the Wi-Fi to die. Like that never happens around here. I mean, we're a very tech savvy people. I don't know what happened. Maybe the Wi-Fi dropped temporarily because IT was doing something and then it came back on. I don't know if that was the case. If it was, nobody said anything. Eddie, you need some guitar picks. Well, I hand out the guitar picks only in person and only on site at events. So if you catch me at a concert or something, I'll have them on me. Nika Masala. I see what you did there, sir. But yes, please, let's do that. I'm in San Francisco in North Beach every weeknight at 7:00. I'm done working. So you and the missus come hang out. Hey, Tracy, welcome back. Did you message me yesterday? I'm trying to remember. There was something I was going to tell you and now I can't because I have brain fog. But I remember talking to you for a second. And then, I saw, hey, PJ. Yeah, I didn't see Dean's whole podcast. I just saw Dean's post on, Instagram with Jeff. But yeah, I'm sure. I'm glad they had a Billy Steele shout out. It lags. You typed it and I answered 5 minutes later. Yeah. Well, it could have taken a minute too, because I was also like backtracking on comments. Because if I get a bunch of comments all at once, sometimes it takes me a while to answer them. So that may or may not have been latency. That may have been me just like trying to catch up. You did. Okay, Tracy, remind me. You didn't message me on well, there was something I was going to tell you. Now I can't remember it. Do you remember what you messaged me on? Was it Facebook or it wasn't Facebook, right? Was it like a late comment? I don't remember. Whatever it was, if you had a question, ask it now. Quick, before I forget everything I ever knew. Oh, well, I'm trying to answer all the questions if I can. I think I'm all caught up. Yeah, I'm all caught up now. When is Limp Bizkit? That's coming up quick, huh? I was actually thinking about asking Shasta to have a look at the Metal Zone ratings just to see, because I feel like the Metal Zone has been too much of like the deeper tracks and stuff. And I probably should pop it up a little bit with some more mainstream songs. But then I don't know. Then all of a sudden I'm not credible. Your Wi-Fi was so good until it got crappy. You did on the text line. I don't know. I almost had it. There was almost a thought there of something about along the lines of connections, but yeah, I mean, I'm surprised I was able to hotspot my PC, my laptop, my Apple laptop is not a PC. I'm surprised I was able to hotspot the laptop yesterday so that I could continue the live stream, but is what it is. Hey, Peter. Are you mistaken, or is Rob Halford and Judas Priest currently bypassing the Bay Area? You are not mistaken. The only opportunity to see Judas Priest on tour for the foreseeable future is at the Aftershock Festival. And that is a nonstop topic of conversation between myself and a lot of my friends, because Aftershock is a mixed blessing, right? I mean, it's huge and it's metal, so it's good for the metal community. But also, because of its size, it's kind of, it's the Sauron of metal, right? It's like infecting all the ground around it. Everyone either already works for Aftershock, or they're afraid to come near Mordor because it's not going to do them any good. It does suck for the Bay Area because, like, I don't know what's going on with Lamb of God, Kerry King, and Mastodon. You know, that tour is not coming through here at all. Mastodon was on Aftershock 2 years ago, right? So it's not that they have a no compete clause. It's not that they've got a routing radius clause keeping them from coming through here. Kerry King has nothing to do with Aftershock except for Slayer, so I can't imagine that being the radius clause. Mastodon is not going to be at Aftershock, right? So, like, why is that tour passing us up? I don't know. And I don't know if it's just Aftershock too, right? I mean, it could also be something to do with routing, something to do with booking. But it does seem like a lot of tours are skipping the Bay Area in general. And I don't know if that's because maybe there's a lot of competition, right? I mean, a lot of venues where metal would play also have other bands playing there, and they could be booked up with bands we don't even know about or have never heard of, but will sell out a small place. You know, like maybe the Warfield has band X we've never heard of playing on the same, you know, maybe they've got band X, band Y, and band Z playing on the dates that Mastodon and Lamb of God were looking to come through. And so they couldn't play there. And then maybe the Fox Theater was all booked up. And then they decided, well, there's no place big enough for us and no place small enough for us. So we're going to skip the Bay and go straight to LA, where there's endless venues for us to play. I take that back. I think they're playing at the Forum in LA. So that would have been like a Bill Graham Civic size venue. And you know, what's funny about that is that, Another Planet doesn't really do much with metal, and they book the Bill Graham Civic, and they pack it with EDM shows that they're just making a fortune on because EDM is hugely popular. And so why would they bother taking a chance on a metal tour that they don't have to? It could be that. It could be some kind of booking thing, or it could be a combination of all of the above, you know, and I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it by asking around. So hopefully I will be interviewing Kerry King at the LA show, and I'll ask him, and I'll ask the management because they'll be there because it's LA, and I'll see if I can get to the bottom of it. I don't know if I can or not. You know, they might, and I don't know even if I can. I may or may not be able to share it with you, but I'll do my best. You know. PJ, I need your playlist now on Metal Zone. Those 2 or 3 we're working on Shasta last Saturday night. PJ, I don't know what you're talking about. The 2 or 3 who we're working on Shasta Saturday night. What, at Vinny's? I thought you were so drunk at Vinny's you thought I was there. What do you remember now? Melting in Morgan Hill. Aw, sorry, Mike. Am I getting an interview with Juliette Lewis? Hadn't planned on it. Wasn't asking about it. I don't know. I mean, no, for the time being. Honestly, I haven't set up any interviews at Aftershock because I haven't really committed to going to Aftershock, but also I guess I realize Aftershock is coming up pretty goddamn quick. I better get on it if I am. But typically when I do interviews lately, they've all kind of come to me. I haven't really asked out after any interviews. It's been somebody I ran into or somebody I was talking to or somebody who called me up or dropped me a line and was like, "Hey, can we do a thing?" And then it worked out. But also oh yeah, Juliet and the Licks, she's awesome. Hi, it's Simone.
Why, when are you doing for the tickets?
It's happening in the 3:00
Right.
hour.
Okay, I thought he said in 11 minutes, and I thought it was 11 minutes. Okay.
Well, you got to listen for the cue to call. I tell you in 11 minutes the cue to call will be coming, so I tell you not to go anywhere.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere.
Okay,
In
okay.
11 minutes, be
Thank
listening.
you.
It's
Thank you.
okay. Good luck.
Thanks.
Bye. Jesus. Tracy. Oh, thank you. Oh, you tried to use your laptop at the site. You need to use the phone app. You found a way to turn it on the laptop, but that's just for the person streaming. Oh. Huh. So maybe I did have an idea about how to connect that I have since forgotten. Shit. Let's see. Well, Twitch, you should be able to view. I have actually done all three. I have been able to view this live stream on all three platforms. I can go to Twitch right now and look. Let's see. I got to refresh because I haven't done it yet today. Yep, there I am on Twitch. And then I have a second YouTube page that I can go and look. Yep, there I am on the YouTube live through a second page. And then I have to log in. I don't have Facebook up. Facebook. Okay. And if I go to my Facebook page, there's the live, and I can click on it, and there it is. Yep. So the Facebook page does look like the one that has the most interference for me. It has the most latency. Twitch seems to be the one that works best and fastest. Oh my God, people. Hi, it's Simone. Ah, they hang up when they know that I've caught them. Hi, it's Simone.
Yeah, you guys are running a contest right now, aren't you?
We're gonna be. You got to listen for the cue to call. Are you listening?
Oh, okay, thank you.
Be listening.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay.
I thought it said 4 minutes, so I was just double checking.
Well, I don't have one that says 4 minutes and 35 seconds. I have one that says 4 minutes and one that says 5 minutes. And I figured if I said 4 minutes, you'd be here listening for the cue to call, and that.
I got you.
Hi, it's Simone. Jesus. Everybody trying to game the system. August 18th, Lamb of God in Portland, 2 days off, and then 21st in LA. Exactly. Like, why is that show not coming here? I don't understand. Why would they take a day off and not book here? But then again, it's also possibly got something to do with booking, right? They're playing what's the forum, an 8,000 seater? So it's a busy time of year. There's a lot of stuff booked. Their options for the Bay would be, let's see. They could play the lower half of the Oakland Arena, which is a 4-wall, which means anybody could rent it, but it would cost a little bit more. And it costs even more when you're only going for just the lower half, right? Because if you don't think you're going to pull the full 15,000, which I don't think Lamb of God would, who's going to put that money up, right? Then you've got Live Nation. They've got the Concord Pavilion and Shoreline Amphitheater. Both are pretty well stacked with stuff right now. I don't know if either one of them is open, but Concord Pavilion would be the most likely because it's the smaller of the two. I think Concord holds like 13,000 and Shoreline holds like 22 and a half. But those are about the only places that they could play. Shoreline's too big. So you're looking at Concord or Pilgrim Civic. He is 17,000 cap. All right. Well, I mean, then Oakland Arena would be a viable option. Concord Pavilion would be a viable option. Somebody doesn't think Lamb of God is going to sell enough tickets to pay for them to play in the Bay Area, is all I can think of. That's all I can think of. I don't know. It's either that or it's a radius clause that has to do with Aftershock, and I don't understand that either. Let's see. You ready for caller 9, by the way? It's that time. All right. Let's see. All these eager beavers. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 1. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 2. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 3. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 4. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 5. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 6. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 7. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 8. Hi, it's Sabone, your caller 9. Sorry, dude. So close.
Thanks.
All right. Take care, man.
Have a nice day.
You
Bye.
too. Cheers. Shoot, caller 9 was nice. I probably should have just given it to him. No. All right, let's see. Pick a number between 1 and 10. Which line are we going to pull? How about 7? Hi, it's... Ooh. Oh, there it is. Hi, it's Sabone. Who's this?
Hi, this is Lisa.
Lisa, how are you today?
I'm good.
Lisa, have you won anything from the bone in the last 30 days?
Oh,
I might be able to fix that. Congratulations, Lisa. You're caller 10. Lisa, what's your last name?
long color.
You've won the pair of tickets to see the show at Oracle Park, but you also qualified for a trip to LA to see them again and tickets to that show. So if you win the LA trip, we'll give you a call next week and let you know.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Lisa. Congratulations.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, she's won before, but it was like 2 years ago, and that's the only thing she's won. So good job, everybody. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. No prize pigs, real fans, real boneheads. It's my goal in life. Yeah, I know. These are the things that make me happy. What can I say? Um, Concord 12.5. Isn't that what I said? 13,000-ish, 12.5, whatever. Um, Eliza Dushku, Elisha Dushka. I don't know what you're talking about. PJ, you're getting weird. PJ, you might be losing. Um, let's see. Brett, how's it going? I know more about music equipment. What's with the small room, loud static sound with a local band performance? Nobody does soundproofing. You think about Steve Gorman mentioning his deafness. He's played in a band since grade school. Has he played in a band since grade school? I feel like he I feel like he no, I feel like that's not exactly true. Um, everyone should wear earplugs at concerts, period, because prolonged exposure to high volume sound is detrimental to your hearing and can cause permanent hearing loss. And at this point, we don't have a lot of technology to improve hearing loss. We only have hearing aids. We don't have like ways to regenerate the little hairs in your ear to help you hear things distinctly that are what gets eroded from sound. With the small room, loud static sound with a local band performance, there's a lot of things that go into that. I mean, it's basically like chasing the sound from start to finish. Is the guitar player playing with his hands? Are the strings old? Are the pickups good quality? Is the guitar good quality? Is the cord from the guitar into the amp good quality? Is the amp mic'd with a good microphone? Is that microphone patched into a quality soundboard? Is that soundboard being manned by an audio engineer that knows what they're doing? And then is that board attached to a PA speaker of quality that can handle whatever it is that's going into it? And then is that PA speaker properly hanged and properly angled and of sufficient quality to produce that sound to the room that it's in? Does that room also have um, proper acoustics? So yeah, so that's the long and the short of it. Those are all of the things. Those are not all of the things, but those are many of the things that can affect the sound that you're describing. You feel like you're only getting your money's worth if you go home with ringing ears. So ringing ears is a medical condition called tinnitus, and it can become permanent. People like myself and Steve Gorman will wake up in the middle of the night with ringing in our ears on a day we did not go to a concert. They don't understand tinnitus, but tinnitus is also the same problem that has kept Huey Lewis at the news from being a band anymore because Huey Lewis has such bad tinnitus that he has trouble functioning in daily life. So no, wear ear protection because tinnitus sucks. And it can get really bad. Really, really, really bad. Um, Hang on, I gotta do a thing here. Nope, that's not what I was looking for. Where is it? Mm, there it is. It's the Bay Area's own Metallica on the Rock of the Bay. I'm Nikki Blakk, and Metallica have dropped by the vinyl pressing plant that they purchased in order to create their own copies of their own album. They pressed Ride the Lightning in splatter vinyl, by the way. It looks really cool. If you want to check it out, I'll post it up for you on the socials. Right now, it's Eddie Money on the Rock of the Bay. Uh-oh. Oh, when did that go? Oh, why would I have done that? All right, hold on. It's the Bay Area Metallica on the Rock of the Bay. I'm Nikki Blakk, and Metallica have bought their own vinyl plant, and they visited it to press their own vinyl of their own album. Yeah, Lightning. They pressed copies of the splatter vinyl version of it. It looks very cool, and I mean, talk about hands-on. I got a picture of this. I can put it up for you on. Hold on. Hold on. It's the Bay Area's own Metallica on the Rock of the Bay until it sleeps. I'm Nikki Blakk, and Metallica bought their own vinyl pressing plant, and then recently they visited that vinyl pressing plant to press their own vinyl of their own album, Ride the Lightning in splatter vinyl in blue, which is my favorite color. It looks amazing. I feel like I want to get a copy of this now. I could post it up for you to check it out. Watch the band do their own vinyl pressing on the social. Wow, yeah, this looks really cool. Is Eddie Money on the phone? So somehow I had um pulled down the fader on the mic, and I thought it was weird that I wasn't hearing, but I thought maybe I had the headphones down too low. And then when I went to listen back to it, there was no sound there, so I almost just had like a whole break of like silence, which was terrible. Um, hey Rodney, hang in there. Did you think I had some place I was gonna go? Because this is where I gotta be, dude. Appreciate you hanging out though. Drink more, the band will sound better. Yeah, yeah, everyone get ear protection, seriously. I try to keep earplugs in every bag that I have. This was the perfect example. I went to the Bone Rock Night Out, Red, White, and Boozed at the Back Lounge in Dublin, where we had the Merkins. And when I got there, I realized that it was so hot that day that I was just wearing like shorts with no pockets, and I just had like this little strap with my phone on it that just has like my ID card and cash, and I didn't have a jacket or a purse or someplace where I would have kept my earplugs, and I forgot to grab them on the way out the door and stick them in my pocket. So I didn't go in because there was no way I was gonna get that close to that loud sound without hearing protection because it's super dangerous, especially, with all the accumulative hearing damage I've done over the years. I mean, decades of hundreds and hundreds of concerts I've been to, and even with hearing protection, it still accumulates damage. And then I remember after like, I don't know, the 4th or 5th time of me telling someone, "Usually I have earplugs everywhere in all my pockets and da 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 da," it suddenly hit me, "Oh, probably do have some in the car because I do stash them everywhere just in case." So I ran out the car and I checked the glove box, and sure enough, boom, earplugs. So I was able to go in and watch the rest of the show, which was super worth it. That's your public service announcement today. Hi, John. Is the word feet a question? Feet? Question mark? How is that a question? Would anyone here care to answer John with his question of feet? Feet? Question mark? Yes, I have feet. Feet would be the American measurement. as opposed to meters. There are approximately 3 feet in a meter. Um, I was super irritated because I bought an Apple charging cord that I thought was gonna be long enough, and it ended up being 1 meter. 1 meter is still only about 3 feet, and, it was not long enough. I should have gotten a 2-meter cord because it's just barely long enough, so it's kinda stretched over the bedside table, and every time I, like, grab the phone, I'm at risk of, like, knocking over a bottle of water or something. Super irritating. John, you say he like feet. Mm, it's very caveman speak. I don't know who he is, but I'm happy for him if he likes feet. Congratulations on your enjoyment of the ped. Um, somebody else chime in with a question or a comment for the love of whatever. Have I suddenly been abandoned? John, I think you creeped everyone out. I think you creeped everyone out and people just started jumping off. Yeah, like 4 people have signed off since we started with this feet thing. It's a little sad, actually. Um, oh, shit. Shit, shit, shit. Was that supposed to be a commercial? Damn it, I really need to pay better attention. My brain is lost. Yes, yes, it was. Okay, how are we gonna fix this? Hate when I fuck up like that. Makes me really angry. Alright, let's see. So now commercial in where I didn't want guess it's gonna have to go here. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Well, actually, I think that can go there and that can go there. And will it still? Yeah, I think that's gonna have to be that. You guys don't wanna hear the commercial, do you? Okay, that was sketch for a second. Sometimes I make mistakes. Fortunately, sometimes I can also like make up for those mistakes. Um, but phew, that one was close. Wait, what? 4 p.m. hour. Oh, this is Thursday. I need today. Did I just sign on Thursdays? Oh my God, you guys. I am out of it. I totally did. Oh boy. You know what that means? I need more coffee. Jesus. Jesus Cristo. I need more coffee. Because I am losing it. Here we go. Mm. Okay, let's see. Where were we here? We were here. Okay. Oh, did I get rid of it? Okay. Tell you what, guys, that was a close call. Drink more and the band will sound better. Thanks, PJ. Appreciate that. Okay. Um, now that I have fixed that up, I gotta fix this one. Let me get some light in here too. Okay. It's 4:20. Everybody relax. Enjoy some Pink Floyd. Have I told everybody that you can listen online at 1077thebone.com or download the Bone app and listen there? Obviously, I can't broadcast it on here because the live doesn't have licensing for the music, whereas the on-air product does have licensing for the music. And if you listen to it online through the Bone sites, then the proper copyrights are being paid. Whereas if I try to play it, I'll get slapped with those copyright violations. Let's see here. Goodness gracious. Okay. Mm. How is this off timing again? Now what have I done? Let's move some of this up here. That's better. Now we're back on time. Phew. Oh, and I have another commercial in this block of commercials where I have to do a commercial. Am I overly sensitive to that, or does it bother people when I have more than one commercial in a stop set where there's like 5 or 6 commercials? Does it make any difference if like 2 of them are for me, 2 of them are for me selling? If they're all voices, or is commercials just commercials and no one cares? Do you even notice? Does anybody notice? Curious. Okay, well, this all looks good. We are back together. We got the band back together, man. Hey, Tracy. What's happening? Wait, is this the same Tracy that was just on Twitch and now you're on Facebook? Hi, it's phone.
Hello, Nikki.
Yeah.
My name is Ethan Vigil.
Hi, Ethan Vigil.
And I won tickets to the Lamont Snelly 35th ball or something.
Yeah, the Lamont and Snelly Ball, their 35th anniversary.
And I had problems with my phone. So I wonder if I could get the ticket resent to my phone.
If the tickets have already been sent to your phone, then I don't know. You'd have to email andrea.fox@cumulus.com, or you'd have to go through the ticketing agent. Did you get an email from Ticketmaster?
Yeah.
Then contact Ticketmaster. They'll have to send the email a second time if you can't find it.
Oh, okay. But if it doesn't work for me, let me know.
Nope. You got to do that, brother. Yeah. Yeah, definitely search your email, go to your spam filter and your trash in case you accidentally deleted it. But yeah, find that email, and if you can, get a Ticketmaster account with the same email so that you have stuff stored. Because Ticketmaster will put those tickets in your Ticketmaster account if you have one.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I got like the Nation one or whatever.
You got the Live Nation app? Yeah, I know it sometimes gets confusing, but if the email came from Ticketmaster, I mean, you can log into the Live Nation app and see if you have tickets in the Live Nation app under that email. Or you can download the Ticketmaster app and check for the Ticketmaster email. I mean, for the tickets in the Ticketmaster app. But the best thing to do is to go through your email folders and see if you can find that email from Ticketmaster and click the link inside, and then have that link added to the Ticketmaster app or the Live Nation app, whichever one is the appropriate one.
I'll try.
Okay, good luck. Call Ticketmaster. They've got customer service. Ticketmaster customer service should be able to help you out if you can't figure it out.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Ethan. Appreciate you.
All right, you have a great day.
You too. Cheers.
Bye.
Hey, Umberto, thanks for the email. Appreciate those photos. That was fun. I think I vaguely remember now. I think the reason I remember it, the Tesla show, is because I remember it being like right when Dave Rude joined the band. That's the part that kind of like popped into my head. Um, and yes, Tracy, people do specifically ask for certain DJs when they do this. Not always. Like usually, what'll happen is sometimes the client will ask for a specific DJ, but more often the client's not really involved. Most of the advertisers will go to an advertising agency, and then that advertising agency will look at the data for each market that they want to advertise in. And then the advertising agency will contact our sales reps, and then our sales reps will contact our sales supervisors, who will contact our program director, who is Chasta. And at that point, they will ask her which personality she thinks would be best for the client, and then she'll ask one of us if we want to do it. It's pretty rare that unless it's somebody like Lamont Tinelli and it's a local client, you know, um, it's pretty rare that an advertiser will come to the station and say, "I want Nikki Blakk to do my advertising." That I don't think that's ever really happened. But once we've developed a relationship with a client, I have had clients come back and say, "We want her again because we used her before and we enjoyed the results." Dyslexic brain. Do you have a name you prefer, or do I have to call you brain or dyslexic? Hey, Jacob, I'm surprised people argue with me too because I am not a pleasant person to argue with. Um, your name is Brian, and so you go by brain. That makes sense. Thank you. So you have Brian damage. I'm sure you've heard every pun ever. I can't come up with anything new. What's up, Brian? The show is well, the show's been kind of a shit show from the get, honestly, right? Anybody who's been here the whole time. I mean, I was a little bit late and I was very confused about my date. So I started off by telling this whole story about how I completely fucked up my calendar. Then I got a little good news where I got approved for my credentials for the San Francisco 49er games this year, so on that. Then some dude popped in and was, like, asking about feet and kind of, like, killed the vibe. That's how it's going. How it started, how it's going. Yeah. I gave away tickets. That's always fun, and because right before I give away tickets, I have, like, a bunch of people calling in early, trying to win the tickets, like, sneaky little ways, but it's my personal crusade not to let that fucking happen. So I sit here and I answer all the calls and pretend I don't know that that's what they're doing. "Hey, what's going on? Hey, why are you calling? Hey, you gotta listen for the cue to call." So we did that. Um, well, you know what they say, better late than pregnant. Every time. Every time. I have to record a commercial. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. Nobody wants to hear me do a Cars for Kids commercial, right? I'm pretty sure everybody does not like them. Kids are the worst ROI, right? Because you have to make a huge upfront investment, and then you have no idea if you're going to get any kind of return until you're old and in diapers, and then that kid may or may not be there for you. But you just spent 75 years trying to see if you could get that kid to be there for you. Yeah, that's what everybody tells me when they're like, "Oh wow, you don't have kids? What are you gonna do when you're old?" And I'm like, "Die? Like, what makes you think your kid's gonna be there for you when you're old?" Mm. He asked if he could have a bookmark. Bitch, make a bookmark. You do arts and crafts in school. Anything can be a bookmark. I have a bookmark. Yeah, go make one. Children. Ugh, ah. Sorry, I was doing the commercial and then I got distracted. I'll be back. I was doing the commercial and then my boss started texting. At some point, I'm going to do this commercial. I promise. Uh, you gave him a book. He's 8. And he doesn't know your name is Brian. Oh, is he calling you like dad or something? Children. I mean, affectionate nicknames, cool, but I'll bet you he likes being called by his name once in a while. Um, I mean, if you own the book, does he know that you can just flip the page over? You can just corner off that page, unless it's a library book, and then that's kind of a dick move, you know? But also, like I said, you can throw anything in there. Congrats to my friend Chuck Billy with his new metal rock product for sale. The shells of black are cool. Oh, yeah. He does seem to like those. I am happy for him. My boss just gave me some very, very kind news, and I am very happy now. I do love working here. Sometimes I get very cranky, but for the most part, I really love it. Okay, now I have to absolutely do this commercial because no, I'm being 100% dead serious. I actually do love working here. And, hang on, I absolutely have to do this commercial like ASAP. Lord, I cannot focus. That took forever. No, but that was 100% serious. Yeah, no, my boss just agreed to do a huge solid for me. That is gonna take a bunch of things off my plate, and, yeah, I did. It's airing right now. Yeah, I just got it done, right? And now it's on the air because that's how much time I had left to do it. So it was getting down to the wire, but here we are. PJ, you what? Hey, Kev, how's it going? Yeah, nick of time, brother, let me tell you, nick of time. Um children. We should get PJ's kids to babysit your kid. At least you got somebody who likes reading, for the love of everything. Kids that don't read, can't. And people who give their kids the phone all the time, you are not doing anyone any favors for handing your kid that phone. Kids should not have screens at all until they're at least, like they shouldn't even watch TV until they're, like, toddlers, and even then, they don't need it. They need screens. They need tactile interaction. That's why kids play with blocks. Hmm. I'm good, Kev. I'm scattered. Uh, I have been fucking things up left and right, but so far, nothing has been irrevocably fucked up. Everything has been fixed. Let's see. When was that? 41 after 41. Okay. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more, Brian. I mean, I remember telling all my friends who were parents, "Listen, do yourself the favor now and stop giving that kid the phone," and everybody was like, "You just don't understand because you don't have kids. You don't know what it's like." And I was like, "Well, I kinda know what it's like because both my parents had my sisters when I was, like, 12, so I became, like, the de facto babysitter for everyone, and, so I dealt with the baby thing. I had to do a lot of that. Not all of it, don't get me wrong. I know that I didn't have to do it all, but I also was there to see it all. So, I know that it's bad to have your kids in front of screens all the time, and if you use a screen as a babysitter, you're gonna regret it later because it's already producing terrible results for society. I mean, look at the fucking idiots out there that can't tell reality from fiction. Well, reality TV doesn't help either. So many people watch so much reality TV, they think it's real life. They don't understand that it's basically like an over dramatized version of real life. It's basically a soap opera. It's a cross between a documentary and a soap opera. I mean, I get that people enjoy it, but they should really have a better, frame of reality. Yeah, Comic-Con's gonna help. I got a plan to get out of was that a butt post, PJ? Your ass was posting? Your predicted text is really dull. So just so you know, we could tell it wasn't you. We knew there was something wrong there. He gets 3 hours a week tablet time for games. Yeah, I mean, I think that's not great, but it's fair, I mean, I get it. All the kids are doing it, right? It's really hard to control them in that respect. Um, but, the more you can keep them away from the phone, the better. The more that their screen time is on a large screen, the better. Kids rely on electronic devices too much. Have you seen adults lately? I got it from watching you, dad. Yeah, seriously. I remember going to lunch with my friends and this was, like, when smartphones were new. I mean, my friend I'm talking about, his oldest is in college now, and it was like and the youngest is like graduating from high school. So this would have been like 15 years ago. And we go out to dinner, and they brought the kids to San Francisco. And so we're in a restaurant, and the minute we all sit down at the table, he hands his phone to one kid, she hands her phone to the other kid, and the kids are like this the whole time. So, and they're like, well, now the adults can talk. Let's get drinks. And I'm like, dude, there's a reason that like family restaurants have coloring books and crap that they give to your kids, because this is not good for them. There's a reason parents usually carry a bag of like toys and activities and shit for kids. But again, I get it. It's not easy. It ain't easy raising kids. If it was, everybody would do it. And look how many people are fucking it up. You watch Sister Wives and 90 Day Fiance? I mean, okay, as long as you know it's not like real life, it's a very over dramatized version of real life. They take a snippet of these people's lives, and then they have writers come in and say, what if you did this? How would you react if this happened? And then they have them go and do that. It's not based on things that have actually happened. It's based on things people imagine happening in their lives. Yeah, all that. PJ, you did get lucky with your kids. Well, plus also you're like a big tactile live music guy, right? Like you go out and do stuff a lot. I mean, honestly, that whole, I mean, the 70s weren't the best time for raising kids. I mean, those of us raised in the 70s, early 80s, it's not like we were raised. We were just like kicked out and told to go find something to do. But the flip side to that was we did go find something to do, you know. Nowadays, there are still organized sports. Kids can still play outdoor games. They can still run through sprinklers and, well, not in drought ravaged California, but kids can still play hide and seek and tag and Red Rover and whatever. I was just thinking about Red Rover the other day. When was the last time anybody played Red Rover? When was the last time kids got into like a circle and played elimination or dodgeball or whatever? You know, I mean, when I was a kid, we learned how to play those games without killing each other. Conflict resolution. Kids don't know conflict resolution now because they all have zero tolerance policy because nobody wanted to sit down and work with them on it. Chess sharks? What is chess sharks? Is that a thing? I always wanted to learn how to play chess, though. Speaking of, oh, one of the guys. Oh, I missed that comment. Sorry. One of the guys from Sister Wives streams chess. Interesting. I wish somebody had taught me chess. That would have been awesome. We did know how to play checkers. When I was little, we used to go down the street, and our neighbors had like the adults had a game night. The adults would get wasted late at night and play games. And so they had this huge game closet that the adults would play at night and we would play with during the day. So it was like shit like Yahtzee and poker chips, and they didn't have Clue. What else did they have? They had tons of decks of cards. We used to make up games and stuff. But, in hindsight, learning how to play blackjack was a math was teaching me math skills, and I didn't realize it. You never played Red Rover. You picked up an airsoft gun from Dom's in Livermore and almost lost your eye. Well, there's a movie about that. It's called A Christmas Story. You should watch that documentary. It's very important. You would take the youngest out practicing driving, but she's making pizzas. Oh, no, she's making Z's. She's sleeping. It's 5 PM and she's napping. Aw. Yeah, part of me doesn't understand Sister Wives, and part of me is like, well, it does take a village. They just don't all have to be related to raise a child. Oh, you know what's sad about that, Jacob, is that people could just tell you what eye protection is and teach you how to use it rather than letting you shoot your eye out. But whatever. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, tag, hide and go seek. I remember we used to play. We didn't have. We had a baseball diamond, but if we didn't have enough kids to go play baseball, or if we didn't have enough stuff, because a lot of times, because one of my friends' parents was on a softball league, um, we would borrow their stuff and we would play pickle. Just like when two people get stuck between the bases. So we didn't have enough people to play baseball, or we weren't allowed to go all the way down to the park where the baseball diamond was, or whatever it was. I don't remember. But in the middle of the street in front of the houses, we would just chalk out 2 bases, 2 giant bases, and then 2 people that had gloves. That was probably it. We probably didn't all have gloves. Um, the 2 people that had gloves and a baseball would be throwing it back and forth trying to tag everybody, and everybody else would be running back and forth trying not to get tagged. But you couldn't run until the ball got through, right? Like, we would just invent tag games and stuff. Oh, son of a bitch. I didn't wanna do that. Why didn't I do that? Oh, well. Hmm. Well, at least we're still on time. You never see water guns or Nerf guns? Yeah, we had our own sandlot. We don't date outside the family. Bama, Roll Tide. This is what happens when you don't have a professional sports franchise and everybody just obsesses over high school and college sports. Um, God, I drove across Alabama once, twice because I landed in Montgomery and I needed to go down to Orange Beach, and what a fucking nightmare that was. Jesus. Ugh. And that was the '90s. I'm sure it's worse now. PJ, you're funny. You're really funny. Um, you had a cord up the street and you would play and jam the radio? Nice. Yeah, we didn't have rechargeable batteries when I was a kid back then, so we didn't have the radio with us most of the time. Um, and then batteries were really expensive too. I do remember my friend Jackie. Here's another thing, like, kids remember each other from back then. Like, I could still name everybody who lived on my street. Um, but Jackie's parents had a portable 8-track player, and we would carry that thing down to the park and think we were hot shit. Then the batteries would run out, and we'd be like, "Mm," and it would be, like, weeks before somebody would buy batteries to replace that thing. Really? You think Jeff Garcia was that good? I would be surprised. Yeah, D batteries were way too expensive. I couldn't afford them. I still know phone numbers. Jackie Baker's phone number was 707-451 4 no, no, 707-425-4541. Carrie Drury's number was 422-1975. I don't remember Leslie Casten's number. Those are the 2 numbers besides my own that I remember from the '70s. But yeah. Yes, that's what it was, Kevin. It was a portable 8-track player that was round with a handle. It's crazy. Oh, I gotta fix some things here. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Fuck it. You're coming out. Okay, how's that? Okay, now I got to do a thing. Like 5 numbers. I don't know I don't know if I had 5 numbers back then, right? I mean, I'm sure I did. I remember I'm sure I knew like Tuesday Bennett's number and I knew Leslie Cass's number. If I stopped and thought about Leslie's number, I might be able to get that far back into my brain to get to it again. You know why? Because she had an answering machine. And back then, answering machines were brand new. And I didn't know answering machine etiquette. And when my friends weren't home and I wanted to hang out with them, I would just sit at home and call over and over and over. Or I would call and I would just sit there and let the phone ring for like ever while I was watching TV until they answered. But when I did that at Leslie's house, the answering machine kept picking up after 4 rings. And I was like, ah. So I just kept calling and calling and calling. And apparently I either left a bunch of messages or I left a bunch of hangups. I can't remember which, but her mom knew it was me. And she like brought me into their bedroom and was like, do you see what you did here? And I was like, what? She's like, you used up our whole answering machine tape. And so now nobody else can leave messages because all of our answering machine is filled with you trying to find Leslie. And I was all, I did not know. It was sketch. Oh, PJ, I don't know. I'm not excited about the word. Here's the thing, dude. When you try to make load happen, load's not happening. Just like that Metallica album, they tried to make load happen and nobody liked it, right? Load just has to happen organically. That's what makes a load. Yeah. But good night. You had Gene Simmons solo on 8-track, Andy Gibbs shadow dancing. Dude, we jammed our ABBA 8-track like a mofo. We also had Kiss because her brother was a big Kiss fan. That was cool. All right. Have a good one, Kev. Nice to meet you, Brian. Drop by anytime, dude. I'm trying to do this weekdays from 3 to 6 ish. So swing through. Come through, say hey. All right. I gotta figure some of this out. I gotta do some slash keyword stuff. Let's see. Let's just cough up that keyword now. Now-ish. I guess we'll do it. We'll talk about it ahead of time a little bit. Oh, do not let me forget. I gotta do this. Okay. That has to be next. Okay. How many minutes are we looking at? 8:32. 1077 The Bone in Boston with Don't Look Back. I'm Nikki Blakk, and you definitely want to keep looking forward because that's where you're going to find in about 15 minutes a keyword that could send you to Nashville to see Slash's Serpent Festival. Okay. There's that. Now I gotta do this. Oh, damn it. Wrong one. There we go. Few things irritate me like this fucking PC that I have to use in the studio. Just FYI. Like, it's just, there's no comfortable way to use it. Accident 101 northbound in San Francisco. Hey, Victor. Am I still surfing Ocean Beach? I have surfed Ocean Beach like a handful of times. And every time I did, I always went with someone who was a far more experienced surfer than I was. And every time Ocean Beach tried to kill me. So most of the people that I used to be able to go surfing with have different job situations, or I have a different job situation. So our schedules aren't meeting up. So I haven't been to Ocean Beach in years. I have been to Lindemar. That's a much easier break for me. But I haven't been to Lindemar lately. I'm probably gonna have to just start sucking it up and going on Saturdays by myself, because all the people that I used to go surfing with, we just cannot seem to like get a schedule together. But so I never was really surfing Ocean Beach. I was only kind of like swinging out there when I was already meeting up with somebody to go surfing, and like Lindemar and the Princeton Jetty were just too small. So like in the dead of summer, right, we would go out to Ocean Beach. But for the most part, I'm a shit surfer. So I hit Lindemar. I need a wrist pad that's level with my keyboard. Oh yeah, well that's why I use my laptop. I do that with my laptop, Kev. But there's a couple of things that I kind of have to do from that PC. So those things will scare the shit out of me. But yeah, no trust. Yeah, I have had professional evaluations from ergonomic experts. It's a thing. Oh yeah, nice. How's Lindemar lately? Every time I try to look at the surf, it's shit. It's been really bad. It's been mushy or small or windy. Like, what is going on with Lindemar? I do not know any professional surfers. I just know people who are better surfers than I am, which is most surfers. Trick surfing. There's not a lot of trick surfing going on in Northern California. Like in Northern California, you're just like trying to stay upright. All right, I gotta go grab some shit off the printer. I will be right back. Oh, actually, I'm gonna heat up my lunch too. Then I'll be right back. Okay. What I miss? You moved to Elk Grove. Why? Did something terrible happen to you? I'm so sorry. What was the temperature in Elk Grove? That's awesome. You know I'm on Twitch right now too, right? Just saying. Just in case you wanted to like participate on the Twitch stream where I guess there's a lot less latency is what I'm told. Low latency on Twitch. I'm guessing because in part because gamers have better systems that they're working from. But yeah, it's on Twitch at Nikki Blakk Official. So, you know, next time you're gaming, feel free to listen in. That way you can have the bone on at 1077thebone.com or on the app. And then you can hear my Twitch stream and you can game on. Um, yeah, I hear you, Victor. I mean, buying a house is important. I have friends that have gone far out to get them. When I first went to buy a house, I wanted to live in Orinda. Right? Crazy pants. And it was a um it was tough, you know. I ended up buying a house in Concord instead, and I love my house. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy with it, but it was tough. It was a lot of work. I've been in my house for 20 years now, and I will never pay it off. Never ever, but it's still mine. And I know a lot of people moved down to the area to buy. I gotta be honest, in hindsight, if I knew then what I know now, I may or may not have made those choices. But also in hindsight, I did know that as soon as I got out of college, job one was to buy a house. So there's that. Oh right, I need a spoon. Here's things I wish somebody had told me when I was young. You can borrow from your own 401k and then pay yourself back, which means if you wanted to buy a house and you needed a lot of money for a down payment, you could spend a large portion of your early work life maxing out your 401k donations, payments, contributions. That's the word I was looking for. You could spend a large part of your early working life maxing out your 401k contributions in order to have that money to borrow from yourself to pay back for a down payment on house. Hot, too hot. Way too hot. Whew. Okay. Still kind of hot. Thanks, Justine. Welcome to the family. We are the Bonehead family. We are far and large. We're worldwide. I'll never forget one time at what was it? Oh my god! So at the 30th anniversary for Metallica at the Fillmore, they had surprise guests every night, and the one night the surprise guest was Merciful Fate before they had gotten back together, and we all like flipped. And then at the end of the night, everybody's hanging out. We didn't want to leave, so we went to another bar to hang out. And I'm sitting there talking to Hank Sherman from Merciful Fate. And I'm like, hi, I'm Nikki Blakk. It's nice to meet you. And he's like, I know. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, I listen to your show. And I was like, in Denmark? I think that's where they're from. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, he goes, yeah, it's on the internet. It's on, like Saturday mornings. And I listen when I can. And I was like, what? Like, that's the kind of thing that I just can't fathom. Super weird. But people have been listening online around the world for years now. When we had the Gulf War, I used to get emails all the time from people who were overseas in Iraq and Iran, not Iran, but in Iraq, Afghanistan. It's a trip how many people now that doing everything online has become normal have started listening to the station that were never from the Bay Area. Like they just found us online somehow. And we're like, oh, you're a radio station? We're like, yeah, listen to us. And they start listening and they like it. And they get to know us on social media and then keep listening. Steel cut oats, by the way. With walnuts and apples and cinnamon. A little bit of maple syrup. Good stuff. Let's see, tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. I might not be able to do tomorrow on account of prepping for the weekend and stuff. So I got to record a bunch of stuff tomorrow. So what questions? Ask them today. I'm looking at tomorrow and realizing I got a lot of work to do. Oh, right. Keyword. Thanks, Victor. Aw. You know, I was off the air for 7 years, so I'm glad to be back. So if you were somebody who listened to me in the before times, thank you. And thank you for listening again now. Appreciate that, dude. Have a great night. Tap in. Tell me what's going on in Elk Grove. I did used to work out there. I feel like I used to be the bass rep, and I think we had a tower in Elk Grove. Hey, Aaron. I'm good. I'm hungry. I'm tired. Cranky, unorganized. Trying to get everything done at once. How are you? Oh man, that coffee's fucking good. Sorry. I opened up a new pound of coffee and it's a different blend than the one I had before. But also cleaned out the coffee grinder. And now all my coffee tastes way stronger. I don't know why. Maybe it was just so caked with stuff that the coffee grounds were stale. They were like getting held up and then coming through. I don't know. All I know is it's delightful now. All right, let's see. There it is, 5 o'clock. Okay. Starbucks Pike Place. Huh. Yeah. Dude, seriously, doing what you can when you can is like every day of my life. Got to give yourself grace, right? Hmm. I'm not a big fan of Starbucks. I used to think I liked Starbucks, and then I realized that what I liked was the sugary flavors they were putting in there. And then I stopped eating stuff with preservatives and additives and weird shit in it. I taste the additives when they were there. So now artificial flavors taste like chemicals to me instead of like the flavor. It's kind of weird. 20 years, Victor. Oh my God. That's crazy, dude. Congrats. Appreciate you. Hey, Michelle. Oh, thanks, Michelle. I mean, you don't have to choose between us. You can listen to both. Just depends on what you're in the mood for, right? I always tell people that if all anybody wanted to hear was music, then they would just listen to music. People want to know us. They want to have like connection with us, you know? I mean, if you're from the Bay Area or you like the Bay Area or if you're into metal or whatever it is that we have in common, I mean, that's why you're listening, right? Plus the music, right? You can get classic rock hits anywhere in the country. I hope you're listening because we give them to you in a way that is unique. And I think it's unique because everyone that works here lives in the Bay Area, loves the San Francisco Bay Area and the music scene and loves music in general. And hopefully that shows in what we put on the airwaves. So thanks, Michelle. I appreciate that. Um, what am I looking forward to festival wise? Well, I'm going to Comic-Con this weekend. And I'm super looking forward to it. That's partly funny because you weren't here last week, but I had it on my calendar wrong, and I thought I was going to Comic-Con last weekend. So last week I was all talking about how can't wait to get to Comic-Con this week. I'm so far behind. I got so many things I got to do because Comic-Con this weekend, Comic-Con. Thursday night after I got off the air, I was like, why haven't I gotten my email to check in for my flight yet? And I log into my Southwest app and I'm all, because it's next week. I literally had to text my boss right then and there and be like, oh my God, stand down. It's not this weekend. It's next weekend. I have fucked up all of the things. I was in the middle of a conversation with my friend that I'm staying with, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow night at 11." And he was like, "You mean next week at el" and I was like, "No, tomorrow night." And he's like, "Next week." And I'm like, "What?" Oh my God. The whole thing was insane. And I'm doing all these things at once, right? I'm like trying to check in for the flight, texting my friend, texting my boss. I had to go home that night and just be like, "Stop. Stop the madness. I have to get off." Oh yeah, Justine, coffee flavored ice cream is amazing. Coffee flavored ice cream should be made with espresso. And there's this amazing, really easy recipe online by Arthur's Flour. And it's like a dark chocolate ice cream recipe. I learned it during the pandemic and it's so good. There's no flour in it. I don't know why it's an Arthur's Flour recipe, but it's amazing. And it's basically like espresso and Kahlua and cream and sugar and it's so good. Yeah, right? I totally avoided crowd strikes. Crazy. I have a friend who was, like, stuck in Europe until right, like, nowsies. Like, I think he's flying home from London right now. Mm. I hate to say it, Matt, but Sacramento is a terrible drive for me. I would rather fly to Vegas than drive to Sacramento. When I went to Aftershock last year, It was a 5-hour round trip. Traffic was so bad. Haagen-Dazs. Fair enough. Fun side note, you know who else loves coffee ice cream? Barbara Streisand. Go figure. I read her autobiography. I have a whole new respect for that woman. I should say I listened to her read her autobiography, and I have a whole new respect for her. And she mentions coffee ice cream a lot. She's very food motivated like me, which I kind of love. Oh, this is 12. Ah, stop it. Hopefully that didn't just garner me a copyright strike. 1077 The Bone and Aerosmith with Dude Looks Like a Lady. I'm Nikki Blakk, and I have got your chance to go see Slash and his Serpent Festival in Nashville. I'm talking round trip airfare for 2 to Nashville, 2-night stay in the Nashville area, premium tickets to Slash's Serpent Festival, not to mention access to the Slash Soundcheck experience, which includes autographed vinyl, not to mention watching Slash Soundcheck, which in and of itself is pretty badass. And how do you enter this contest? It's easy. You text the word strings to 95819 right now. The word is strings, STRINGS, and you're texting it right now to 95819. Oh, well, that's not cool. I kind of wanted that to be on time, not early. Why am I early all of a sudden? Oh, what if I add this? How's that? That's not bad, actually. Okay. We'll put that there. We'll put one of these there. Better late than early. You're taking Amtrak. But then how do you get from Amtrak to the festival? And more importantly, how do you get from the festival on Amtrak back home? Because last year, hey, Dan, you missed so much. There's no way I can recap it. But I will try later in a second. Here's my question, right? So last year, I drove all the way out there. Took me 2.5 hours from Concord to Aftershock. And then when I got there, they were like, "Oh yeah, the parking lot's full." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You're gonna have to turn around and go out to the next lot." And I was like, "Fuck." I go, "Where am I gonna turn around at?" And he's like, "Well, you can pull forward and turn around." So I pulled forward and I just parked. I was like, "Meh, fuck you." But there was parking. I don't know why this guy thought there wasn't. It was a shit show. And then it was like a half-mile walk to the box office front gates. And then I ended up staying late after the show, hanging out with friends. But the scary part about that is that I had to walk a half mile to my car most of the way in like pitch black because all the lights were out. And it was super creepy. But that's my fault for staying late. But if I were to stay late at the festival and hang out with friends, how do I get home on Amtrak? Like, does Amtrak run 24 hours? Or would I even be able to stay till the end of the festival on Amtrak? Or would I have to like somehow, or would I have to leave early so that I could catch the last train out, you know? Um, but then I got back to my car and it was 2.5 hours home because they were doing construction on the causeway. Like, who didn't tell the Causeway construction team that there was gonna be a goddamn festival happening and that thousands of people were gonna be leaving Sacramento all weekend long? Nope, I just got stuck in it. It was a shit show, and I hated it. 5 hours round trip to get to the show and back, and then I was probably at the festival for, like, 8 hours. Reasons I complain about Aftershock endlessly. I'll bet you it is cheaper though because, parking was like $40, or at least it would have been if it hadn't been for that kid telling me that the lot was full and then telling me I could turn around and then me just parking. I stole parking at Aftershock last year. Shh, won't tell anyone. Dan, you missed all meat. You missed all about Meat Carnival. You missed some weirdo turning up and asking me about feet. Miss PJ and caller 9. Hmm. Scroll back through the comments, Dan. That way, you can see what we were talking about. And then you can ask me any questions you have about what you're confused on. That'd be easier than me trying to recap everything, right? Mm. You missed me explaining my stilted oats with apples, walnuts, cinnamon, and maple. Mm. Learning to cook was really liberating for me. I'm very food motivated. And then learning how to cook kind of simplified everything. I remember in the 90s, man, we were broke. I'd be getting pastaronis that were like $1 each. And then one day, I realized how easy it was to make pasta that actually tasted good. Didn't have much chemical shit in it. Once I started cooking real food, all that box food started making me sick to my stomach. I remember one time in like 2005, we had dinner with the neighbors. My buddy's girlfriend cooked, and she made one of those like box side dishes, some kind of rice-a-roni bullshit or whatever. And I'm eating it because, I'm a guest in someone's home. I'm not going to turn my nose up at their food. That's just rude. And it's not like it tasted terrible. It just wasn't good. And so I'm eating it, and like as soon as I finished eating it, like my stomach just went. Some kind of preservative in that stuff acted badly with me. And I wasn't like puking, but it would just give me a stomach ache every time that wouldn't go away for like hours or days. That's my problem too, Victor. Everything tastes good when I'm high, which is why I can't get high. I need to find that diet weed. Oh, hold on. Hi, it's the bone.
Hi, I have a question. I've been trying to fix that word because it's not going through. Is it string or spring?
Strings with an S at the end.
Oh, strings. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Like
Thank you.
like guitar strings?
Yeah, I just put string and I didn't get nothing back.
Oh, that's why. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You got it. Good luck.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Uber from the train station to the hotel. Uber. Because you got a hotel. That's why. I don't want to buy a hotel. I want to go home at night. I shouldn't have to buy a hotel to fucking go to a festival that's 75 miles from home and 65 miles from my mom's house. Probably less, probably 60 from my mom's. Maybe even, I don't know. Anyway. Oh, see, I don't get Hilton discounts. If I did, that might change things, but I do not. Fire burning near you? Oh no. Where are you at? Lynn, he ain't wrong. This is my big problem with pot. When I tell people I don't smoke pot, and they're like, "Oh, you don't like weed?" I'm like, "Well, it's not that I don't like it. I'm just a shit stoner, you know? I get high and I cannot function. All I can do is sit there and like eat, sleep, and watch cartoons." But the problem is I won't stop eating. People be like, "Oh, you just get high and go to bed." I would get high late at night and go to bed, and I'd wake up in the morning and there'd be like 3 spoons with peanut butter licked off of them next to me. I would eat in my sleep. And I would have the munchies so hard, I would just walk into the kitchen in my sleep, grab a spoon out of the drawer, stick it in the peanut butter, and then eat it on the way back to bed. One time back when I was still married, I went to bed high, and I was eating candy bars, those little, little candy bars, the mini bars or whatever. I woke up in the morning, and I looked over, and, I had a candy wrapper in my hand, and I was like, "Guess I was eating candy bars last night." And I chucked the wrapper, and then I looked to my left, and right there on my husband's back was the perfect square of the candy bar that belonged in that wrapper. So I had somehow opened the candy bar and then dropped it on his back, and it just sat there, and his body heat melted it in perfect square formation, and he was just frosted on him, and I was like, "Don't move. You're gonna get chocolate everywhere if you do." Oh my god. Yeah, so it's not that I don't like weed. I am just a terrible, terrible, terrible stoner. What's my funniest moment smoking marijuana? That was pretty fucking funny right there, Jacob. You need something funnier than that? Oh, you're near Chico. Mm, that's where most of the fires seem to be, is in the way north. It's pretty hot and dry up there, huh? Yes, Justin, I played Soundgarden and you missed it. God damn it. Shit. Hold on. It's the Stone Temple Pilots on 107.7 The Bone with Interstate Love Song. I'm Nikki Blakk, and STP are helping us celebrate 35 years of LNT at the Toyota Pavilion in Concord on Friday night, August 16th. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com, and they're on sale. I mean, Live Nation is having a sale. You can get 4 tickets for $80. That's $20 per ticket, because can do that. And you can hang out with the full bonehead family. You can see Stuntable Pilots live in Our Lady Peace on a Friday night. Oh yeah, you're gonna want to do that. Hmm. Timing worked out well there. Okay. Hmm. You've only been high once in your life, and that was when you had 3 wisdom teeth removed? Aaron, that's not high. I mean, it is, but it's not. Yeah, that's different, honestly. Um, I mean, you're kinda high, but you're not aware that you're high, so it's not like you're high because you're not enjoying it. You're just anesthetized. There's a difference between being high and being anesthetized. You smoked nutmeg? I I can't with you. I don't know what that's about. What did I think about the geyser in Yellowstone? Which geyser? Justin, does it matter what song I played if you didn't hear it? Um, Matt, you're hearing STP on the app or something, right? You're not hearing it through the live stream, I hope, because if you are, I'm gonna get slapped with a copyright. Dental work. I mean, I don't feel like dental work counts as being high. One time when I was getting my wisdom teeth out, they definitely were not putting me all the way under, but they were giving me a Demerol shot. Now that was high. Um, the nitrous oxide never really did much for me. Mostly just gave me a headache and then made me hear the wah, 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 but I didn't really feel high. Um, you like brownies with CBD? Okay, CBD is not CBD doesn't get you high. That would be the THC that gets you high. I think you're talking about THC brownies. I think you're talking about pop brownies or hash brownies. And, let me warn you right now, never eat the whole cookie. If somebody gives you something and says this is a pop brownie or a hash brownie or whatever, just eat a little tiny bit and then wait for 3 hours before you decide if it's not working because, woo, you will be fucked up. Oh, you're listening on FM. Okay. Okay, sorry, Matt. I just got super paranoid. The signal's clear in San Jose? Ah, good news, because at one point we were having transmitter issues in the South Bay and people were complaining nonstop. Um, the one that went all medieval at the park, it's not volcanic active. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Geyser at Yellowstone? This is I'm missing all of that. To be fair, I've been kind of buried in audiobooks a lot lately because I'm exhausted by the politics, so I haven't really been watching the news. And when I do watch the news, it does seem to be all fucking politics. So, oh, thanks for swinging through, Victor. Appreciate it, man. We both need to get surfing. Can't believe you went from Pacifica to Sacramento. Crazy. The twilight sleep. Yeah, twilight sleep is high. One time I was getting radio frequency nerve ablation, and they gave me fentanyl. And I was like so high, I was unhappy high. I was like, this is too high. I don't like this. I feel like you know that high when you're like on the verge of throwing up, but not, but you're always on the verge of throwing up. That's what fentanyl felt like to me. So it was like, you can't really enjoy being high because you're always on the verge of throwing up. Like, is that what heroin is like too? Like, you always see people puking on heroin. I don't know. But I have that same problem with like um, opiates, you know? I was so high that even after not being able to eat for the whole day before, not the whole day, but like, you know how you can't eat the night before and then overnight and then you have to wait until after the procedure? Well, my procedure was at like 2 or something. So I hadn't eaten for like 16 hours or something crazy. I was like starving. Um, I fell asleep next to a burrito. We were like, that's how fucked up that fentanyl made me. We're on our way home from the procedure. My parents had picked me up, and I was like, please go to the taqueria and get me al pastor burrito, regular with avocado. Because it don't matter how fucked I am, I can order a burrito. And so they did. But then I was like, I still felt like such shit that I just crawled into bed. And they woke me up and were like, hey, we got your burrito. And they put the burrito next to me on the bed. And I was like, oh, and I basically curled up on that burrito and fell asleep. I woke up and ate that burrito like 4 hours later, which, as we all know, is fine because taqueria burritos are the shit. Unless you order a super burrito and then the sour cream's gonna get a little hanky. And, if you get the super, it's got the extra salsa, it gets too soggy. But if you don't go super and you just go with the avocado, that burrito is gonna keep for hours. Um, you were always a goody two shoes when it came to drugs. You missed out, brother. They lied to you. When you have an uncle who's a cop, it makes you wanna stay on the good side. Does it? I think it would make you wanna do the opposite. But cool. I'm not mad at you. I just feel like you missed out. Ask Lynn, she knows what I'm talking about. Whoops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Um, no, Dan, hash brownies are tricky for everybody because it's a brownie, right? You're mixing it all up in the mixer, and then you're pouring it into a pan, and then you're baking it. There's no uniformity in how it's made, so you have no idea, which is why it's a problem because one section of one brownie could have a shit ton of THC in it, while another section of brownie has almost no THC in it. So, nowadays, we have edibles that are tested, so you can kind of gauge better how much is gonna be in that thing, but still, trust my advice, never eat the whole cookie. Trust. Justin, you love weed so much. Oh, good for you. What's my favorite national park? I don't know, Yosemite, I guess. Yosemite is the shit. I don't really do national parks, you know? I hate long drives. I hate, places that don't have controlled atmosphere and indoor plumbing. So, Yosemite would be the closest. We did used to go to Yosemite when I was a kid. We had a motorhome, and it was my grandparents, and they would let us use it, and I would go to sleep in the back of the motorhome because it was the '70s, and, sorry, boss texting. So, yeah, they'd throw us little kids in the back, and we would go to sleep on the bed in the back, and we would wake up in Yosemite in the morning and be like, "This is amazing." Oh, hold on. Hmm, hang on, I gotta do a thing. But then even as I got older, we would go skiing in Yosemite, and we would stay in the cabins. I never did get to stay at the Ahwahnee, though. I do still wanna do that. Wasn't there some Led Zeppelin news? I swear there was. Hmm. "1077 The Bone" and Zep with Black Dog. I'm Nikki Blakk, and I just was looking on the internet, and it looks like the Led Zeppelin news folks, if you don't follow them, please, you should if you're a Zepp fan at all. They've got everything. And right now, what they have got is the 2016 court transcripts from the plagiarism case against Led Zeppelin for Stairway to Heaven, which Led Zeppelin ended up winning, by the way, but apparently some interesting things came out in court. At least that's what the headline says. I'm gonna have to dig deeper into it, and then, of course, I will post it up for you on the socials. Whoops, that's not gonna go there. Okay. Yep, yep. Done. And who's the new one? 553, 12, 18. Okay, this one needs to go away. There. Okay. Okay. There, that works. It is almost 6 o'clock. What were we talking about again? B. Hobbs. PJ is going to be so upset that he missed you again. Um. Oh, I was talking about Yosemite. Yeah. Yeah, so Yosemite is probably definitely gonna be the one I've been to the most and that I care about. I haven't really been to very many national parks at all. Um, yeah, have a good night, Matt. I'll be out of here soon too. I've gotta get back to work. Breakfast burrito, nope, I don't do breakfast burritos. We've had this conversation. I'm like, I'd rather do breakfast outside of a burrito. Um, Breakfast burritos are a necessity, whereas regular burritos are a delight. But also, I mean, for the most part, if I have time to sit down in a restaurant, I'm not getting a burrito because I will just get the same thing on a plate. You just get the plate instead of the burrito. The whole point to the burrito is that it's portable. You only need the burrito if you're taking it somewhere, which is why I had them order me a burrito because I was not eating it at the restaurant. I was not eating at the taqueria. I was having it at home, and I knew that it needed to travel. So, because the taqueria is, like, right across the street from me, I will frequently order the plate and then just bring it home. But this time I knew that it was gonna be like, I was already kinda nauseous and stuff. It was gonna be a minute before I could eat it, and then it might take me a while to finish eating it. So then I'll get a burrito and, eat it for a couple of days. But not a breakfast burrito. Yeah, drugs are great if you can keep them fun, but if they take over your life, well, then clearly it's not the drug's fault, but, you've got some issues to work through. Some people can't do drugs, right? I can't smoke weed. I'm a terrible stoner, so I don't get high. That's that. Some people are allergic to strawberries. I get to eat strawberries, I don't smoke weed. I can smoke weed, but then I usually end up going, "Ugh, why did I do this?" And then I don't anymore. They're charging more for avocados. Avocados are worth it, Dan. Bitch, I know guac is extra. I'm worth it. I'm guac, baby. I'm guac. Congratulations, Lynn. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't work for some people. You gotta find what works for you. However, you can tell me you can back me up on this, right? Never eat the whole cookie. That's sound drug advice across the board. Never eat the whole cookie. How about banana bread? What about banana bread? Who gives a shit about banana bread? Banana bread's one of those things that you just don't think about until somebody puts it in front of you, and then you're like, "This is good," and then you get sick of it immediately. So, yeah. You know what I like better than banana bread? Zucchini bread. You ever make zucchini bread? Try that. Gummies from Stizzy. You know what? I did not know what Stizzy was. They opened one down the street from me. And then one day I had to go buy some weed for a band. And that's when I found out that the Stizzy down the street from me is a weed place. Go figure. I must go to Lassen Volcanic. I have been to Lassen actually. Yeah, I crawled through those caves once. It was all right. I don't know. I'd take Yosemite over Lassen. You get into any national park for free? I go to so few national parks that it's not a factor really for me. But I don't remember ever having to pay to get into Yosemite. My favorite thing was skiing at Yosemite. We would like get those cabins, those little cabiny things at I almost remembered the name of it. Curry Village. We would get little cabins at Curry Village and then go skiing all day and then go ice skating all night. And that was fun. I used to like that. Remember drive-in movies? I do. I do. I remember drive-in movies where my parents thought we were gonna go to bed, and we were like, "What?" Like, my parents treated drive-in movies like a date night, and we had a station wagon. So, they would put, like, sleeping bags in the back of the station wagon, and then they would tell us to go to bed, and we'd be like, "What? There's a movie on. We're at the movies." And they're like, "Nope, you kids are in bed. We're at the movies." And I was like, "You guys suck." So I've never actually been to a drive-in as, like, a person who's going to a drive-in. I've only ever been to a drive-in with my parents and hated it because they made me go to bed. Enjoy your steak and taters and corn. PJ is definitely in bed already, Brian. He is definitely in bed. You grew up by Yosemite and you disagree. Good for you. I mean, that's the beauty of you being able to go where you want. I get to go where I want. And I've been to both places. I'll take Yosemite over Lassen all the time. Don't get me wrong, I love Mount Shasta. My former in-laws lived in Mount Shasta, so I used to go up there every year for the holidays. It's beautiful up there. I'm not mad at it. I just prefer Yosemite. Carne asada or carnitas? Neither. El Pastor. You just have to charge more when they order it. I don't care. Charge me, bitch. Give me the guac. I must have the avo. I mean, I don't have to. I can live without it, but I shouldn't have to. Never eat the whole cookie, right? Yeah. You love banana bread? I'm all right with banana bread. I learned how to make banana bread and zucchini bread when I was really young, and I used to have to do it all the time. My mom would be like, I was the one who had to make all the chocolate chip cookies. I had to make all the banana bread, zucchini bread, and of those three things that I made the most, I was more into the chocolate chip cookies than anything else. So I don't know. I'm kind of over the other ones. It's one of those things that, like, unless somebody puts it in front of me, I'm not gonna want it. Plus, it takes, like, 2 hours to bake that shit in the oven, like, who's got time for that? You like barbecue zucchini. I like barbecue vegetables, I'm not mad at that. Your dad worked where? Okay, I'm missing that one, but I do have to get going because I got work to do before the end of the night. Thanks everybody for coming by, and I may or may not do this tomorrow. Yeah, Curry Village, that's what I said. I remembered it. Don't take that away from me. I'm so proud of the fact that I actually remembered it within a reasonable amount of time for it having been recalled in my brain. That is like the brain fog victory from hell right there. Like, yes. When you try and remember something and it's gone and you have brain fog, you remember it like a day later or like hours later. Oh, your dad worked at Curry Village and it was owned by MCA. Curry Village was owned by MCA? That sounds fishy. I would double check on that. Maybe it was a company that was also called MCA that had a different name. I don't know. That sounds weird. But I digress. If you're gonna swing by tomorrow, swing by early because I will have a ton of stuff to do before I leave for Comic-Con, which means I probably will not be here at this late tomorrow or Friday at all. Because Comic-Con, bitches, Comic-Con, Comic-Con. You can see all the Comic-Con shite on my socials. I'll probably be putting the most stuff on Instagram just because it's the easiest for me. So if you're following me, Nikki Blakk 666 on Instagram, NIKKIBLAKK and all that business. What a coincidence, Dan. I also have to work tomorrow. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for swinging through. Thanks, Christine. Oh, not Friday though, because Friday I'm at Comic-Con all day. Shh. It's a secret. Thanks, Lynn. Like I said, you guys can follow it on Instagram for the most part. I'll try and share to other socials, but Instagram's the one that makes it easier to share on the fly, so that's where it always ends up.